Hello! In today's video, I am going to be going over some beginner tips to help you get to 5 million power in the early game very easily, and not only that, but also set your account up for success in the long term. In order to best set your account up for the long term, we're going to need to go over a few things. These things are going to include which research you should prioritize at the start of your game, which buildings you should upgrade, if any, of the non-essential ones, and how to go about getting better Palmon. That way you can have Palmon to help you with certain things around your camp, such as this guy, which decreases building queues by 900 seconds, or 15 minutes, which is pretty good. So in today's video we're going to be covering all of these economic related things just to help you with the growth rate of your account. We're also going to be going over what some of the best SSR heroes are for both PvE and PvP, just basically any fighting scenario. And then we'll also be checking out some of the PvE and PvP tasks you can do in this game, like this idle lands here, and also some of the more interesting PvP things that you can do at any time. And now let's go ahead and start by going into our field lab here and taking a look at the research trees. So as you can see on this account, I have not done anything yet except for development. I would recommend that you don't do anything other than development until you get to around camp level 12. And the reason for this is that when you get to camp level 12, you're able to max out this piece of research here, which decreases the tech research speed, and you also get this one before it, which decreases the building upgrade speed or increases the building upgrade speed. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you very much in the long term. And then as you continue to upgrade your camp level, you can come back to this because at camp level 14, you get access to more building speed. And then at camp level 16 here, you get access to more research speed. And this goes on, you get more building speed at 18, more research speed at 20, and then more building speed at 21 and more research speed at 22. So you want to definitely prioritize the development tree, but you're thinking, okay, so I want to grow my account faster, but I also want to be able to fight in more difficult PvE and PvP tasks, and for that you're going to want to prioritize the Palmon tree, which will give you a bunch of buffs for your different unit types. You're going to want to prioritize probably only one of your squad trees at the start. The reason for this is that you likely won't have 10 good Palmon to use right off the bat, unless you are spending a little bit, of course, in which case you may want to branch out into upgrading the tech for more than one of your squads. And then you can also go into the Amigo tech tree. And one thing about the Amigo tech tree too is that you do get access to increased load capacity, which is definitely good to pick up, especially if you're going to be gathering resources. So now that we've gone over the majority of the available research trees, I guess we can take a look at the guild dual tree first before we go on to building. And it's okay to go into this tree, however your guild leader will likely tell you what to do here. So at the start, at least, I would highly suggest prioritizing development and then your Palmon, Amigo, and squad technology. Now, the reason that I'm not going into the growth tree at all at the start is that it just isn't really that important at the beginning. And the reason for this is that you have a lot of extra resources when you're playing this game, at least at the start. If we go ahead and take a look at my resources here, you can see that one of these would give me 660,000 lumber. So here I have, 12 million more. So almost 50 million total plus all the other stuff. You just don't really need that much production at the start. In the end game, you can consider going into that tree, and I assume you will eventually need to. But at least at the start, it is not a requirement. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what buildings you should be prioritizing. So in my opinion, I think the Pal Catcher Workshop is definitely something that you should be prioritizing if you're playing on your account seriously. Now the reason why mine is only level 7 is because this is more like a test account. So yeah, I'm not taking it super seriously. Another reason for that is that as you can see here, I am in server number 20. So I would definitely get stomped by the people here. But if I were to make a new account in a brand new server and try my hardest to succeed in the game, I would definitely upgrade my Pal Catcher Workshop. And the reason for this is that you need these in order to capture ultra rare Palmons out on the map. And when you upgrade the Pal Catcher Workshop, the amount of time is reduced for the crafting process for the Pal Catcher, which is highly useful. Now moving on, we also have a few other priorities here which you may want to consider. Upgrading your Palmon beds is decent. Now, would I think it's worth spending like speed ups on this? Probably not, but if you have like one idle queue, if you bought 2 or 3 build queues, you might want to go for that. And we do also have a few more options here. We have our Amigo huts. This is definitely a good option. It gives you increased training speed if you need more Amigos. I don't know if you necessarily will unless you're running multiple squads pretty early, but definitely towards camp level 16, this is probably something that you would want to consider a bit more. One thing that is very important to research though is your field camp, and the reason for this is that when you upgrade your field camp, as I am doing right now, it does increase the amount of research speed that you gain. So let's go ahead and actually speed this up. This is a lot of speed ups, so we're going to go ahead and speed that up there. And yeah, if we go ahead and upgrade this again, you will see that we get 0.5% per upgrade at this point, which is pretty good. If we go into the info tab, I guess it doesn't show us here, but yes, you get an increased research speed, which is awesome. And this doesn't apply to currently active tech research, but that's fine. Now, on top of all of these things that I've previously mentioned, of course, the most important building upgrade is just going for the requirement for upgrading your camp. So now that I've finished upgrading that field lab, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade a power plant here. So you see I'm going to go ahead and start that. I'll probably spend some speed ups on this too. I just want to get this done quickly if possible. I need to get this all the way up to 14. So let's go ahead and blast through this level, and then I will wait for some helps on level 13. And one more thing too for buildings is that once you have a good setup of Palmons inside of your camp to help with speeding up the build times on other queues, what you can do is you can go ahead and do instant upgrades. So for me, I think I have like 50 something minutes worth of instant upgrades. I don't think that's quite enough to do anything. I think I've already done everything I could. Didn't mean to go into that menu there, by the way, that's my bad. Let me go ahead and speed this up. Oh, I don't quite have enough. So I'm going to do something here that I would never recommend you do, but again, it's test account. So we're going to spend some gems here. And there we go. Now, if we go ahead and go to the Palmon bed, do I have enough to instantly finish this? Yes, I do. Okay, so yeah, here's an example. You'd want to go ahead now at this point and just instantly upgrade all of these. And yeah, you can do this pretty regularly at the start of the game. But then once you get past like City Hall level, I don't know, like 10 or something, or at least level 10 on these actual buildings, it does become a little bit more difficult. Now, I don't think I have enough speed to upgrade it past this. Yeah, not quite. So right now I have 58 minutes worth of instant build time. And the way that I got that, segue into our next point here, is through the nursery and breeding good traits into these Palmons, which is giving me all this additional speed here. Now, I did go through and I made a bit of a list here. So let me go ahead and take that out. Now, someone may have already made a list for this. If they did, that's a little bit unfortunate. But here are the list of traits and the Palmons that also have a skill that complements it. So for example, engineering is for building speed, and Maximito, which is this guy here, also has a skill which increases build speed. So what I was doing originally is I had these 3 Herculeaves here. By the way, this is a pro tip. Level up the Palmons that are going to be performing tasks in your city to level 2. That way they're not stacked with all your other Palmons that you haven't released yet. This way it's a little bit easier to tell which ones are valuable and which ones are more trash. But anyways, what I did is originally I had these Herculeaves just with this engineering talent because I didn't realize that certain Palmons had skills that would also help in this regard. So what we did is we took a Maximito and a Herculeaf and bred them together here. Now let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and oh, this is going to be expensive. Don't do this at home. Do not do this at home. All right. Go ahead and speed up this breed and see if we can get engineer on this Maximito. This was a 1 trait Maximito with a Herculeaf. Oh, we didn't get it. Okay, well that's really unfortunate, but you don't always get what you want when you're using the nursery. So what we will go ahead and do here is we will breed those same guys together again. Go ahead and do this. And this guy, where are you? I guess they're up here, yeah. Go ahead and breed these 2 together. Once I get another one of these wreaths, I guess, I can't do it right now. But in general, this is how you'd want to do this. And if you did watch my previous video, I did successfully breed a Herculeaf with another S tier engineering talent, which is great. Now, to get into the rest of the Palmons that have skills and the traits that you need for them to be even more efficient, let me just go to the list. So Prodigy is for research speed. You can see that I have these guys here who have B tier Prodigy. Unfortunately rather, have not been able to get an S or an A tier yet. And the Palmon Volt Bolt, which is also here, does have, if we go ahead and click this I, does have this skill which decreases the duration of research queues, which is awesome. Going on, we have the Coach ability, which is for training speed. So if we go to our Amigo hut, you can see that this guy has A tier Coach, which is -4% when assigned to training. And then the Bruiseberry has a skill similar to Kilo Hop here. Kilo Hop is, sorry, this one's for charging, but if we do go to the Bruiseberry here, you can see that the training speed is +10%, and of course as you spend these skill fruits on upgrading it, this does increase the training speed, which is pretty nice. Now I'm not going to go into the UIs for the rest of these, I'm just going to say them aloud. So what we do have is we have the trait Healing Touch. I guess I can go into the Palmons for them. We have Healing Touch here on Lendinier. So this is -time for healing. This isn't very important at the start of the game, but once you get most of your other Palmon bred for doing other economical tasks around your base, this is definitely something you would want to focus on. Maybe by the time you get up to like tier 4, 5, 6 Amigos or something like that, I'll make more of an impact. Not 100% sure yet. We have Workshopper, which is very common on Herculeaf, I believe. Maybe not exactly. Anyways, what Workshopper does is Workshopper increases the saw output, and where Herculeaf does come into this is he does have a skill for lumber output when working at a sawing job. So if you could get a S tier Workshopper on your Herculeaf, that would be good. Now I do believe that you would need like 8 of those, because I think each table saw takes 2. No, it only takes 1. Okay, so you only need 4 of those, plus you need 3 Herculeafs, or at least 3 Herculeafs at the start for building, and that's quite a bit. But at least you get a lot of the low tier wreaths, and I think that these blue wreaths here are pretty much only viable for like doing some form of breeding like this, where you're trying to get Palmon to help you with your economics of your base. And then you can also spend your blue tier skill fruit here, the rare skill fruit, on these Palmon, which seems like a smart play. And then you can save the legendary skill fruit and epic skill fruit for your PvP oriented tasks, or more important things like training speed and healing speed. For example, from Lendineer, and I believe it was Blueberry. Just go ahead and double check that real quick. Indeed, this is training speed from Bruiseberry, not Blueberry. Same thing, you know. A couple of other things too. There is Bellow Fellow, which I believe is common on Vulcanid here. Let's see if we can get one of those. Nope, we can't. But what Bellow Fellow does do is it is increased output from, I believe, the smelters. If we go ahead and take a look, furnaces, not smelters. If we take a look at our furnaces, we should have somebody on one of them that has that trait. Yes, this one here. Bellow Fellow, smelting output plus 10%. So ideally you would want one of these on your Vulcanid, because Vulcanid does have the skill that also increases output, but it's obviously not worth breeding to try to get this to happen until you have a source S tier Bellow Fellow, especially because this is an epic pet here, Vulcanid, that we would want to get this on. You can see Vulcanid here is epic pet. So yeah, you don't want to just go around throwing out your epic wreaths for no reason, especially this early into the game. There are a couple of things as well. Most of them aren't that important, but we will go ahead and take a look at the Rotoleaf here. I believe it is his skill that, yes, increases gold output at the shop. So this is something that I'm not sure how useful gold is yet in the late game, since I haven't gotten there yet myself. But if you are struggling with gold, this might be something that you would want to go ahead and invest in. And it looks like I got kicked out here. The game isn't this, or the video isn't this delayed. Sorry, I just didn't react to it right away. I don't know why I got kicked out, but we're back in, and let's continue with this video. We also have Dreamium Hunter, which is for these guys here. And getting some Palmon to specialize this is definitely going to be more important and impactful in the late game, purely because you need this material for smithing. But at least for now, I don't think I need to worry about it. But maybe as I was approaching like camp level 18 or so, I would start probably breeding some guys to get more value from my Dreamium Sievers. That's a interesting building name. Moving on, we also have the Alchemy Lab. Alchemy Lab is for magicking. So we have these guys here with the Alchemist tag. And again, I don't have an S tier of this yet. And the way that you're going to be getting a lot of these S tier things, most likely at least, is just going to be from the hatchery. You go ahead and do your temples here. Maybe you get lucky with an S tier. We did get an S tier on this guy, but it's a PvP tag, so not quite what we wanted. And the rest of it, maybe this guy is decent. No, it's not. I guess there is this here that we can point out. Sweet Dreams, XP gain plus 5% when sleeping on a Palmon bed. This is something that you can go for like super late game. I think it's probably more important to focus on like S tier engineering, prodigy, etc. first, and then you can mix breed those with also S tier sweet dream in theory, and that would give you more XP. But we're getting into super micro optimizations, probably like several months, if not years into playing. You would consider doing something like that, but you can also have it in the back of your mind, like, hey, if I get a S tier sweet dreams, I should probably hold on to that to breed it later. But you know, is what it is. Now that was a very long segment on economic Palmon breeding, but I think it is important at least to get this all done in your nursery here in the early game, because it's going to set you up for success for the rest of the time that you spend playing this game. And at least you want to start thinking about it early, That way you don't accidentally make the mistake of releasing a Palmon that you otherwise wouldn't want to have released. So yeah, don't make that mistake. And now let's go ahead and move on to what some of the top performing SSR Palmons are in this game. And for me, those Palmon are going to be as follows. So for my main tank here, I'm going to have Platypus, and I think that this guy's great. I believe he has 3 skills here, which are dedicated to damage and fighting. So a lot of these Palmons are going to have something related to economy, which you don't necessarily want, at least if you're going to be focusing on upgrading that pet. You can see here I still have 25,000 of this epic skill fruit left. This is something that I am personally going to be hoarding for a while until I know exactly where I want to spend it. And I think that it makes sense for you to probably save these guys up too, unless you're trying to like push for a certain placement in like an event or something where you just need a little bit of extra power. But yeah, for me, Platypus is a good tank. And then moving on to DPS, we have Meow here, who does pretty good DPS. And a main reason for them doing good DPS, they do have a talent here dedicated to resource gathering, but you get a lot of their tokens early on, so you can have a very easy time of ascending them. I can probably almost get them, I could actually get them to 3 stars already. I've only been playing this game for 4 days, but yeah, that's a reason why they're going to be so good. So as an example, here is a Squeezle that I have spent 15 shards on to get it to 3/5 of the 1st star. Let's go ahead and release this. I guess we'll have to remove it from our squad first. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we can go back into this UI and reset it. Okay, so we do get all 15 of the shards back, but you don't get your base back. You don't get 2 to 3 from the base. So, well, actually, I guess you still have this Palmon, so I guess you could actually recycle it. Okay, so that's really good. So you don't lose anything. That's important to keep note of. And yeah, let me go back to my main account here and show you what some of the good SSR heroes are. And hey, maybe it'll be Squeezle. And indeed it is Squeezle, and the reason that this, in my opinion, is one of the best SSR Palmon is it is a DPS type, and again, it does have 3 skills that are dedicated to PvP, which is very uncommon for SSRs, so that makes it more powerful. And yeah, this just seems to do a lot of damage in my lineup, so I would recommend it. And if you want to have some sort of hybrid, I think that Axolium here might have potential. I'm not 100% sure. It seems to do okay in my lineup. I just like that it has this skill here that does a stun, or not a stun, sorry. It decreases their accuracy, which seems decent. Now, unfortunately, it does have this thing here, Savage Scallion, which is Dreamium production. So, you know, not great to have a non-PvP thing. But I think it's okay to have 2 tanks. The Lacerating Leaf here is 100% more damage at level 1. I think this goes up to like 130% or something. I guess we would have to upgrade it all the way to C, which is not something that I can afford to do right now. But yeah, those are my picks definitely for some of the top SSR Palmon. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and use those SSR Palmons in a squad and go to the idle feature here. Now, I have recently done this, so I probably won't be able to successfully complete this stage. You can see that I'm about 300,000 power behind. Now, if I spent my skill fruit, I probably would be able to beat these guys. Go ahead and speed up through this. Yeah, we do lose that, unfortunately. But if you go ahead and take a look at the damage dealt, you can see that the ultra rare Palmon here, the Ninjump that I have 1 star, definitely is carrying. So that is important to note. But the reason why you want to do the idle lands here is because of this production. So you can see that we get these pieces of equipment here, which are very nice. We also get Palmon XP and resources. And you do have the ability to do this quick explore here. I think it's 4 times per day. It might be 5 times per day. The first 2 or 3 are free. and then you spend 100 palite for one and 100 palite for another. Now this isn't really great value, but I just did it for the video's sake. You can see that you get some amount of resources and a little bit of Palmon XP, but not much to write home about. One thing that is nice about this is that you do have, not the leaderboards here, but you do have this thing here, the Hall of Fame, and every time somebody reaches a milestone, everybody in your server receives all of this palite. Each person can claim it. And this is really nice, especially when you're just starting. If we go ahead and scroll up here, you can see when somebody clears stage 50, stage 100, 150, 200, which doesn't really take that long at all. People get access to all that palite, so that'll definitely be helpful. And again, in case you missed the previous video that I made, one good way to spend your palite is in the palite investor here. You spend your palite and you get all of it back for logging in for 7 days, plus a bunch of extra goodies, so definitely I would recommend that. And yeah, it's just great. You can see here that I haven't claimed day 5 yet, so my account is less than 5 days old. It's about 4.5 days old, and you can see that I'm at 6.3 million power, just about. So in a new server where you are in a active guild and you are getting guild donations and things like that, it'll definitely be super easy to reach 5 million power. But I would recommend following these tips that I've given you in this video to help you set up your account for long-term success. Now let's go ahead and check out some of the PvP features here before we end out the video, since we do have to get some value in with our new Palmon here, our new squad. So we're going to go into the Palaceum here and click battle, and we can, I guess, let's just try the hardest person here. We have a much stronger lineup, so I think we should be good. Let's go ahead and deselect that guy and reselect this one. We do have our 2 tanks in the front. We have the Platypus here, which is a tank, and the Toxicilo, or Toxilico, whichever it's called, which is like more of a hybrid. So let's go ahead and battle this. I think this should work. We'll go ahead and speed this up here. Yes, it does. It does indeed work. We were 700,000 power above them, so that makes sense. You can see here that every time you get a promotion in tier, you get a reward at the bottom. 800 palite. This is super important, at least at the beginning of the game. In order to have enough palite to go for the palite investor tiers, especially the 10,000 one, which is a little bit expensive, but you can see here you get a ton of palite from this. Now you also have the daily and weekly rewards, which are awesome. Let's go ahead and look at what you can spend that prestige on, shall we? If we go to the shop, you can see that you can buy Palmon eggs, which is nice. You can buy ultra rare Palmon tokens, which is really nice. And there's also a bunch of other things that you can buy here too, which you unlock at a later level. Especially this Dreamium here probably looks interesting. You also have the Mount Feed and the Opus Pearls. You know, you're going to have to climb up pretty far in order to get that, but definitely a nice pickup there for sure. Now let's go ahead and just do a couple more of these battles. Maybe if we refresh, we'll get somebody a little bit more difficult. I think we can go against this guy. He's 200,000 power below us. Let's see how this goes. It looks like we're going to win this one. Yeah, we do, but it is a lot closer. Let's go ahead. Oh, we promoted again. Nice. I haven't been fighting very much here. You see that we got another 830 palite as well, huh? That's a lot of palite. Yeah, look at that. So definitely this is a good way to grind up some palite at the beginning of the game. And I kind of regret not having done this already, or else I might have already had enough to get the 10,000 palite per week tier. Now, maybe we can take on this guy. This guy is a lot closer to our power level, and he has a bruise berry there, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Yeah, it looks like we do take him out. That's awesome. We gained 200 points from that as well. Now, the rate of progression for me here might be a little bit exaggerated just because of how old this server is. There's probably some like matchmaking rating inflation, but definitely these first promotion awards are amazing. So definitely pay attention and do your Palaceum fights every day. at least grind up as much as you can. You can see here there's also these weekly rewards for a certain number of victories, which is nice. You can get up to 10 victories per week, which is nice to have. And a reset voucher. This is for resetting your Palmon, and this is that thing that I didn't have earlier when I was looking to test the reset feature and see like if you got everything back, which looks like you do. That's awesome. And okay, lastly, let's go ahead and take a look at the Dojo Challenge. Now, the way that the Dojo Challenge works is you spawn into this Dojo Challenge map. I believe it's the highest power person here in the middle is the Champion Dojo, and they are surrounded by elite dojos here on this page. And if you use this arrow in the bottom right, you can go and take a look at some of these more common and more easy to take down dojos. Now what we want to do is let's just go ahead and attack the big guy here and see what happens. It looks like I have to set up a defensive lineup first. Let's go ahead and do that. I haven't actually done this before, so let's just go ahead. Well, let's swap these two around. Put the meow in the middle. Let's see if we can go ahead and battle this guy. Yes. See if we can get this going. Come on. Oh no, he's gonna wreck us. Okay, yeah, absolutely wrecked us. Yeah, we did a lot of damage. Yeah, for sure. Yes, so this is why you want to not start on a server that's 50 days older. They're already 50 days old when you start. Now, if we go ahead and fight maybe one of these like common guys here, maybe we can go ahead and get a victory. Let's go ahead and see. No, we're gonna lose against this guy too because he also just has a bunch of ultra rare Palmons. Oh, maybe. Oh, we won't lose. Oh, look at that. Somehow we didn't lose against this guy. Oh, I guess we don't get to see his Palmon. That's really unfortunate. I wish you could see how much damage their Palmon did. So we do succeed here. You can see that we also get prestige from this game mode as well. So that's important to keep in mind. The shop is shared between this and the Palaceum, so it is important to participate in both of these. Now, looks like I can collect from my dojo at some point as well. It's basically like a gambling game, so the way that this works is you passively over time generate prestige, and then if you press this button, you can take it out, but then I believe when you do take it out, you do lose your shield. So just keep that in mind. This is an interesting little PvP game mode that's constantly going on. I think it's great. Now in the future we will cover like what server versus server looks like and some other different PvP related things, but just for a beginner guide, that's all that I think is really necessary for this. We will go into some more in the future, like I said though. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I think that this game definitely has some potential, especially if you are interested in the collection aspect of getting all of these SSR heroes. You can see here if we go into the event tab, I think this one, is it this tab? Yeah, you can see that there's evolutions for heroes here. I'm not sure how this works, but I imagine it's just a further tier of collections. That is something that interests you. I think that this game could be interesting for sure. And yeah, if you're watching this game, you're definitely interested in playing the game, at least if you're watching this long in the video. I would think so. So yeah. Alright, see you guys in the next video, which will be a free-to-play player guide. This game I think is a little bit of a challenge to play like super seriously as free-to-play, but if you take a more relaxed approach and you're just like, hey, I kind of like the grind and the tasks that you do in this game. I like that it's a vertical game. I like that KVKs aren't 2 months long, you know? If you narrow in on those aspects and you don't take the game super seriously, I think it definitely could be fun to play as free to play. With that being said though, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.